welcome back, everyone. We are joined by Jorge Cori, who just won a fascinating game against Shankland. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we are about to see some critical points from the game and some nice decisions. So maybe we should just have a quick overview of what happened. And first thing that we have to ask you is about the opening. So let's quickly jump to the analysis board. And yeah, so here in the opening you played the Meran variation of the Slav, semi-Slav, knight b7, queen c2, bishop d6, and now not the most common line with b3, bishop b2, and bishop e2, transposing to your French defense structure that you sometimes play with black. And now after the move e4, knight d2, you achieved a very creative looking position where you have a lead in development and your opponent has more space. So first of all, how do you evaluate this position?
I actually think that instead of e4,
yeah.
so here it's better to take and rook e8. So I have to make a decision if castle. So let's say castle, now e4, knight d2, and queen e7. So I'm not sure what's happening because this knight is going to f8 and then to g6, and looks easy to play for black. And my idea is to play f3, but the e3 pawn is a little bit weak, so I'm not sure what I can do.
Yeah, so this is like a good option for black.
I think so.
But it's not so easy to find because it kind of gives up the center and a very complicated decision in a position where we suggested like 5 or 6 different candidate moves and d takes c4 wasn't one of them. So very difficult to notice and very high level, we assume. So e4 was played, knight d2, rook e8. So first of all, how do you evaluate this position when you have the lead in development but your opponent has some other pluses?
Yeah. I was happy because I survived the opening.
Very humble.
Yeah.
And well, here you made a very interesting decision of playing g4, which is a typical move in this structure with reverse colors.
Yeah, I mean, it's the main idea. If I just castle, if I play short castle instead of g4, black is just much better with knight f8, knight g6, knight h4.
With a pretty much free attack.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you castle long?
So, if...
Then after knight f8?
Yeah, knight f8, and then g4 is not possible, so...
Yeah, so you decided this was the right moment to play g4, and now your opponent played knight f8, and here you decided not to play g5 followed by h4.
This is too risky. I'm not sure what's happening after knight g4, so let's say h3 will be a very bad move, because knight f2, king f2, and queen g5, and I think black is winning. So let's say if rook g1 to stop this queen g3, then queen h4, king f1, and rook e6.
Yeah.
And
black has a very powerful attack. And at the very least, he has bishop h3 and winning some material back.
True.
And yeah, so in this position, knight g4 is a very nice move for black, and h3 is not only is not really defending the pawn, but also defending the square and preparing g5.
Yeah, and that was the idea.
So this is why black decided not to play knight g6, because now g5 is a threat, a very big threat by white, and he decided to just put an end to this threat manually by placing his pawn on g5. Were you surprised by this move?
A little bit. I didn't expect that. I was expecting h6, that it's, let's say, the normal move to stop g5.
Yeah.
And then after long castle, knight g6, probably. So if h4, bishop g4, and I guess many things happen.
Yeah, very sharp game will follow. So you have this option to sacrifice a pawn, but maybe also rook dg1 and some g5 ideas in case of knight h4, an h4 threat. But very complicated middle game, and as you mentioned, you're happy you survived the opening and you have some winning chances, yeah? So, yeah, g5 was played by black, which is either, as we mentioned, a very strong move or a bad move. And it's really hard to judge. And I'm sure it's not easy for you to judge as well, so you just made the best moves you could find, which is long castle.
Yeah.
Knight
But
g6.
just
Yeah.
before we skip this point, were you like better? What was your exact evaluation of G5? Was it? I mean, were you more for as it is a mistake, or more as it is a good move?
I thought it was a very risk move because of the structure, and my whole idea is to play f3. So I actually thought that it was more worse than a good move.
All right, so you would stick to the basic principles of the game of chess,
Play h6.
which say
Yeah.
do not open your king
Yeah.
once you are castled.
And after castles, knight g6, king b1 was played, knight h4, typical move. And now you made the mysterious rook move, as Dvoretsky liked to put it. And that's actually a very strong prophylactical move. You prevent knight g2 and you're threatening f3.
Yeah.
Your opponent realized how powerful f3 is, so he played bishop h2 to try to stop it once again mechanically, rook gf1. And he thought that f3 is not a threat anymore, so he played bishop d7 quite quickly.
No, I think he saw it, but maybe
Just
he
cannot,
it's not possible to stop it,
yeah,
and he has to make a move.
yeah.
So I'm not sure if bishop h2 is the best move, because maybe queen e7 or bishop d7. Again, I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, but probably white has the initiative, and even if you're not objectively better, it's much easier to play with white because all your moves are automatic.
Yeah.
So that's a very big achievement in any opening against any player. And nowadays, if everyone are prepared, what we can hope for is not a big advantage, but an easier position to play, at least in professional level. So bishop h2, rook gf1. And now after bishop d7, f3, you sacrifice the exchange. And how did you evaluate this position when you played f3?
Well, I thought white was better.
And I believe we have also considered, instead of bishop d7, we also considered knight g2 as a candidate move.
Yeah.
Were you expecting this one?
I'm not sure what I was expecting, but
Well,
I
here
thought
rook
about
h1, rook g1, and f3. So it's
Yeah,
kind
that
of
was the
losing
idea.
time.
So somehow I thought that after rook h1, maybe queen c7 could be possible, but probably not.
Well,
This is so weird. Yes, the bishop and the knight here.
yeah, maybe rook c1 and just
Yeah, maybe rook c1.
prepare for
Yeah.
something.
Uh,
Rook
other-
c1 with the threat of some c takes d5 followed by knight c takes e4, perhaps.
Yeah, otherwise black is just much better if the
Yeah.
bishop will go back.
Yeah. So bishop d7 was played, f3, and now you felt good about your position. You didn't know how much better, but you knew that you have the initiative.
Yeah.
And at least not worse with, despite the material deficit, fe4, knight e3, queen d3, and bishop f4 was slightly surprising to us. We didn't expect it.
We
Yeah,
were
it was a
calculating bishop e6, I believe.
Yes, we thought about
Bishop what?
knight take f1,
Rook
followed by
f1.
bishop e6, but
Oh,
yeah.
can I move this?
Yeah,
I wasn't sure what was happening after c5.
Wow.
Because if bishop e6, just I guess e5, and then bishop d1 could be. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We were actually considering knight d7, and now
Actually-
firstly c takes d5, you know, and then bishop d1 in order to
No,
prevent.
cd5
Yeah.
here, then
like it.
then e5, and then bishop d1. But we thought the knight comes to g6,
Oh,
so we had this idea of maybe playing bishop d1 first to prevent this knight d7, knight f8 idea. We don't know if it's wrong, but we just wanted now to play bishop c2 and then see what black is doing.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
this
really
is very
hard.
complicated.
yeah,
I'm-
but it feels winning for white, intuitively speaking. So c5, as mentioned, what did you plan to play here?
I wasn't sure. I just saw this position. I saw that maybe I could take and take with this pawn, and then take and
Knight f3?
yeah, maybe knight f3. The problem is
And
bishop
now
f4,
queen d4.
but then f6, and somehow black is surviving.
What about h4 in
Maybe-
that position? No, that's
Actually,
I'm not
all
sure.
right.
what
I
is
mean,
black?
there are many moves.
Too many.
Yeah, I mean, there. If e5, cd4, So
Intuitively speaking, I like this move. This is looking like a really funny idea, but yeah,
I
really
don't know
hard.
what's happening.
Hard to
We
judge.
tend to like this move in any position,
Yeah.
basically. So do not trust her.
Yeah, do not
on
trust
that.
us. So bishop f4 was played.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, c5 is fascinating, but unfortunately, we don't want to keep you here for so long. We could look at this for half an hour.
Okay.
So
So-
e5,
Uh-huh.
knight h5. Did you expect this move?
Yeah, after bishop f4, this knight h5 is the only move.
Yeah, rook f3. Knight
Okay,
d1,
okay,
bishop
okay.
d1, knight g7, c d5, and now f5 by black. And
Yeah.
after bishop c2 and rook f8, Vidit looked at it for a few seconds and just asked, why not e6? So maybe
Yeah, I wanted to play this, but I didn't like after knight takes, pawn takes, bishop e6, and so if I take bishop d5, and wait, am I winning? Yeah, I'm winning, right?
maybe bishop f5 is possible here, no? Or queen c4.
Oh
no.
yeah, I cannot take. Yeah. So I'm not sure what to do here. Oh wait, there is d5, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So I'm confused. I don't remember what I was thinking about this.
yeah. We didn't spend too much time analyzing it.
I remember.
Bishop c8.
c8. So this was a crazy line that I saw. Bishop a3. So e7 is coming.
Mhm.
So rook f6. And then I could not find the way to win. So let's say if f takes, rook f5, and I couldn't find a way to win.
It's really hard to say. Well, if you couldn't find it, who are we to try to find it in a few seconds? But it looks like the win should be there.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
But it's too risky because you have other options that are safer. So
Yeah, I spent, I think, like 15 minutes here trying to find a way, but
here.
I could not.
you see 11 and a half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
close to 15 minutes, and yeah, played bishop a3 with the same idea, but just safer. Yeah,
True.
less committal. So bishop a3, rook f7, knight c4.
Mhm.
Very nice move. You could win material, but you bring the piece instead.
Mhm.
cd, and once again, instead of taking, you go knight d6.
Yeah, I missed this queen a5.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, black is losing, I think,
Yes.
immediately.
And now queen a5, bishop c5, b6, knight takes f7.
Oh, here I almost blunder
Oh,
with knight b7. I thought the queen was trapped, but then there's this bishop b5.
wow.
And what? Oh, hi. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And the knight is hanging as well.
Mhm.
That's the point. Okay. Yeah, it's a very invisible move.
I know.
So yeah. Fortunately, you didn't.
What was the moment when you finally saw that it didn't work? Was it like when you were already trying to move your piece, or just when you were starting to move your hand? Or
I actually played bishop c5, and my main idea was that b6 is not possible because of knight b7. And then b6 came, so I was like, what? What's happening?
Yeah.
So,
and then you realized, so
no.
before, all right.
yeah.
And
I had
luckily,
to
you
play
still have knight takes f7.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
yeah, absolutely luckily.
Yeah, but
At least in this very moment.
yeah, b6, knight takes f7, b takes c5.
We
And,
actually considered king takes f7 as a stronger move, but we didn't
yeah,
go
but this is
that
just
deep.
lost, yeah?
Yeah, this is probably just lost. Because black doesn't have any counterplay, and then this king b2 and b4 is coming. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure what.
So b takes c5, knight h6, and now you had the choice of either taking here or taking on c5 first. Not an easy choice, but
Oh, really? I didn't see dc5.
Actually,
Did I
this
miss-
e5, we did not analyze bishop takes e5, I believe. Queen takes d5, it's something I don't know. We did not analyze it, but in any case, g takes f5 looks nicer because you
Yeah.
have those
we
two.
thought this is easily
protected
winning,
pawns,
and we thought dc5 is an option that we didn't check.
Oh, looks
Yes.
good too, actually. Yeah.
Just
but
as like
more
before.
complicated, I think.
Yeah. So it's better to keep everything simple.
From
Now
the
you have a
practical
strategical
point of view.
advantage, not only an attack.
Yes.
c4, queen e2, rook c8, Now e6 was played. Yeah, looking good. Did you see all this line with f6 when you played e6?
Yes. Yeah, since I played knight h6 check,
Yeah.
I was
Wow.
already thinking about that.
Nice. Rook c6, takes, queen d3, and queen a3. Have you missed one of his moves?
Yes.
So queen a3.
I think I missed many moves. I was worried about all these checks and some traps with
Yeah.
rook a6.
Yes. And now you found a really nice move, knight g4. Because if queen h7, then after king f6.
Yeah, king f5.
King
We
f6.
could
No,
not
king
find
f6.
actually what would be the
Wait, it's not the
next
same?
move here.
No, I think king
Well,
f6.
queen f8 is safer, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we
can't
couldn't
see.
find anything for white here.
Yeah, me neither. That's why I
All
didn't
right.
take.
That
But I
explains
was trying really hard to find something, but I couldn't.
Yeah, we had
We,
Vidit
we analyzed
with
this
us.
position with Vidit and we couldn't find actually.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So after knight g4, bishop g8, knight e5, rook b6.
Oh, I missed this rook b6, and I think it's a very nice move.
Yeah. And now queen d1. Luckily, once again, you have this nice resource, and knight a4 is defense against rook a6. Now bishop e6.
Then I realized I couldn't. I didn't have the plan here,
Yeah.
so I just came back.
Yeah. That's very
Wise.
to come back to repeat the position and not to have so much of an ego. Many players don't like repeating the position when they make a mistake and can just play bad moves because of it. But to repeat once is not harming. It's only psychological, and yeah, that's a good point. So good for keeping calm. And now knight d7. And what's the point now? Yeah, rook a6, knight a4. And now after this rook e6, rook f1, you neutralized everything.
Yeah.
And now it's time to just improve the position move by move and secure your win. So rook knight ac5, here you already knew that the counterplay is over. Yeah?
Mhm.
And now after rook d1, we thought of h4, by the way. We think about h4 in every move.
As we mentioned
If rook
earlier.
e1,
Yeah, so we wanted to have the same position, but to have this pawn hanging for no reason, and then queen f5.
For
But
the reason of the tempo, which we did not yet come up with a reasonable explanation.
I was trying to play safer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, rook
So-
d1, when the moment we saw you playing rook d1, we realized, yeah, he's threatening queen f5. This is very strong. Rook e1, takes, king a2, bishop e3, and now, after knight e5 and queen g1, a brilliant move.
Before we were
You
completely...
just ignore his threat.
Yes.
With this, was this the right tactic? That if he takes, you have knight e6 and queen h8? Yeah? Very nice tactic to prevent bishop
Was rather
h4.
impressive for us, actually.
Yes, and it's funny. After queen e1, here in this position, we analyze like if queen b4, we have the same tactic. If bishop knight c6 at the end, only to realize you can take the bishop. Yeah.
From the early beginning.
Yeah, so we like the tactic so much that we wanted to do it again. So yeah, after b4, queen e1, you played knight c6, queen f2 and knight e7, and you resigned. Relatively clean game. Of course, it's not so easy to play all the very best moves in such a complicated position, but are you happy with your performance today over the board?
I'm more tired than happy.
All
Yeah.
right.
So we will just ask you just one question about the evaluation. We won't waste much of your time. Board number 2 between Abdusatorov and Georgiadis. And
Oh.
we have this. Okay.
Updates. Yeah,
Yeah.
last time we saw it, it was like a rather slighter, I should say even bigger than slighter advantage for black,
This is the last position we saw. So we wanted to ask how to evaluate this position.
first of all.
Oh no.
I mean, intuitively. Yeah.
No.
Close to a draw, yeah?
No, really? Well, look at that knight on d3. This is so...
Well, we don't really know, but rook
Yeah.
f8 was played, now rook f1, g6, king h2, and now suddenly g5. And for some reason g5 doesn't work immediately. G takes. Because the rook is not hanging, you can take. So king h2 probably was a blunder by white. And then g5 takes an f4.
So maybe king g2 is better.
Yeah, so maybe white should have played king g2, and now should be close to a draw, yeah?
Yeah.
Because nobody can make progress. So white can just go back and forth, yeah? And wait for black to
I
do
think so.
something.
Yeah,
And,
if rook d8, rook... oh, wait, what happened? Knight b2 and rook d3 is the idea.
No, but come on, this knight it should be
Oh, that's why he
advantage
didn't
for
play
black.
king g2, because
Ah.
of rook d8.
So now after rook d8, what
Rook
was his
d1.
idea? Rook g1?
D.
Ah, b.
D, D, D.
Didi, sorry.
Yeah.
There's
so-
no knight f4 check. Yeah.
Exactly.
So we are tired as well. So here, so king h2. So he prevented rook d8, but he missed g5, and now after fg and f4, g6.
And
So let's just try to evaluate this very quickly, and king e5.
oh, what's happening?
Yeah,
No, but it must be
yeah,
winning for
black is
black.
winning. Right? Yeah.
black is winning. Yeah, he just
Yeah.
wants to play rook g8, and there is nothing white can do.
Yeah.
Probably, and if h4,
Oh.
then also rook g8, and I take the bishop next. Like h4, what's the most precise? Maybe just take and e2? Why didn't you do it?
Why not take rook f8 and g7?
Because there's g7.
Yeah.
So what's the point after h4?
Rook g8.
First rook g8 and then take.
Yeah.
So rook g8, and if I take, this is completely lost, right? Because the
I
pawn
think
is
so.
coming, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so this is winning for Nico. Thanks for your
Oh
insights.
wait! We
Yeah?
have one more game, please. Be so kind to just evaluate.
We just have no ability to understand
yes.
ourselves. So,
from your practical point of view.
so board number 3, Maksudlu versus Leko.
Oh.
This is a little bit easier to evaluate, I think.
Last time we saw this, I was so happy with the pawn up and still pawn up, but kind of passive rook, I believe, for white.
It's not that easy to make progress, I think.
Yeah, black should survive this with the activity. The rook on d4 is very strong.
Yeah.
And the
Mhm.
queen is blocking everything. So who's playing for the advantage? Intuitively speaking, once again, of course, we have no engines here. We know nothing about the real evaluation, but just to the first idea that comes to mind.
I actually don't know. I think it should be draw because I don't see a way to make progress.
Okay, so these are nice evaluations, and we
Yeah,
really enjoy.
If queen g4, just king f7. I
Yeah.
mean, and because the idea of queen g4 is queen g6, but then
Yeah,
just queen
Black.
king f7.
Yeah,
Black
what if I
perfect.
try with g4 and then
Yeah, you can try,
try
but then
there's
no
no threat.
progress?
yeah.
So yeah.
maybe something like rook e2 and queen e3.
Yeah, that could be. But then, let's say if I trade queens,
Alright.
and then king f7.
So let's say, for example, just something like
Do you
this.
suggest that my rook is too
Like
passive
this?
to make any progress here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think.
Yeah, and the king can also come to a g5 maybe.
Oh, but now king h4.
So maybe
That could be.
But what
So
if I
maybe more
try?
actively.
Wait, I can also try with king a3, rook c3, and c5.
But after g4, let's not forget that black could also play
But then I
for
take-
counterplay. Black
so-
could try for this kind of stuff.
well,
Creating-
there's the.
Queen
sorry,
f6,
so not
queen
immediately, not
f6,
immediately.
yeah.
So if the rook goes to
Yeah,
e2.
if rook e2, that's what I meant.
Oh yeah, queen c1. Yeah,
So
I like.
let's say rooks, I don't know, it's hard to
Okay,
make
it's your move
something
now.
like this and then
yeah.
queen c1. Yeah, sorry. And now I'm
Alright.
hoping for some counterplay, and yeah, black should survive.
I think so.
So yeah, black has activity as
What?
compensation
How
for
did
the
it
pawn.
happen? The rook is trapped.
And which position?
That one. The. Oh no, I don't know where it is.
Oh, it's okay. Where we were
The
earlier.
rook was on f5
Yeah.
and looked like it was
Previously.
trapped.
Earlier?
Yeah,
Here?
here.
Oh.
Yeah. This was the position in the game where we looked at it previously.
Mhm.
White took on e5. I thought it was a mistake. Dina liked it because she suggested this move. D takes e5, rook f5, rook d8. And now rook takes h5, king g7, rook f5. Yeah, e6, h5. So this is the move we missed.
Oh, I
We
see.
didn't see h5. We
Mhm.
thought it was good for black.
We thought it was, yeah, kind of
Yeah,
trapped.
but black still survives with the position we see in the game, and
Oh,
now
I see. Mhm.
yeah, should probably not be able to make progress. But yeah, instead, this position is amazing, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, and we think that black is probably winning. although it's really hard to say, we will spend time looking at it. But I think we
It's high time we stopped
explored your mind
exploring you,
for long
yeah.
enough. And we
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time. We congratulate you once again for the game. Jorge Cori, one of the best players in the world. And probably the highest rated in South America, right?
Yes.
Yes, so...
Which is rather impressive,
Yes.
I should say.
And yeah, so thank you very much once again.
Thank
And we'll
you.
take a very short break and get back to you very shortly.